Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to all my brothers and sisters in Islam, and peace be upon you, all my brothers and sisters in humanity. First thing I want to do is thank you guys for all of your donations. I'm happy to say that the patrons, mashallah, we have now has resulted in the fact that we will no longer have any adverts on any of our videos. That's neither at the beginning, the middle, or the end, alhamdulillah. Also want to thank the brothers who put money into our PayPal, and also want to thank the brothers who, and sisters should I say, who contribute to our GoFundMe account. So alhamdulillah, we're now becoming self-sufficient. We don't have to rely on YouTube advertising to fund what we do. Also want to thank the translators, mashallah, doing a fantastic job translating the videos into, I think it's Malay and Arabic at the moment. And obviously this is what the funds are being used for. We are paying these guys, but mashallah, doing a fantastic job. So we're getting the message spread across the world. We are looking now for French and Spanish translators, inshallah. So if anyone thinks that they can offer that particular service to us, please feel free to personal messenger us through our Facebook. We have a new Facebook page, EFDawah, inshallah. We will be adding a link to the video so you can link straight there. And if you think you can help with the French and the Spanish translation, please message us there. Jazakallah khairan. Okay. Now, last week, well, Tommy was bouncing about in the park. Mashallah, we had 2 more shahadas, alhamdulillah. 2 more English lads accepted this beautiful way of life. And we will be bringing you the videos shortly, inshallah. Also, a lot of you people have been asking about the Jordan and George and Angela and the other Jordan, about how their journey's going and how they're progressing as Muslims. And I'm pretty sure some of the trolls out there are hoping that they've failed and they've realised it was a mistake and they've left. So I'm happy to report, mashallah, they're all now getting down, learning how to pray as their first port of call. But at the same time, they're immersing themselves into the teachings of Islam and learning about the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to be honest with you, they're amazed. They're shocked that nobody at school told them about this man and who he was and what he did and how he was. And they're loving Islam more and more each day. Sorry, trolls. And again, what we're planning to do is bring them together, and we're going to do a video and give you updates on their journeys as they go, inshallah. Amazed at the comments, to be honest with you. So it's like you've got this in your mind that these guys accepted Islam because they had a drink problem, and the only way they can solve their drink problem was becoming Muslim. This is bizarre, mate. Clearly, it's a byproduct of embracing Islam. So you embrace Islam for what Islam is, and through that you stop drinking and all the other harms that are in society. You don't do it as a reason to become a Muslim. You guys need to leave your confirmation bias at the door and forget listening to what Tommy says about Islam and all of these things, and start learning and reading for yourself. Because if you watch the videos, you'll see exactly why they embraced Islam. And I know why you do it. I know why you want to think that they must have been drug addicts or alcoholics and they needed... Because if they were bright, Western, educated, brought up just like you, and they didn't have any addiction problems, and yet they still chose Islam, it makes you question why they chose Islam. What did they know about Islam that you don't? And that, I know that's what bugs you. Because if they've done it, is what you've learned about Islam, again from our mate Tommy, really, really true? And you don't want to question that, because if it does, you might have to change some of the things you enjoy doing. You're the one who probably can't give up the drinking. So it's kind of the opposite for you guys. All right. Anyway, talking of Tommy Robinson. So I don't know how you've let this guy mug you off, man. You've let this guy build up this image of Islam that's got you scared. It's radicalizing you. And I don't know why you're believing him. You know, look at the lies he says about the park. He got you all down to that park. Because why? Free speech. What? He created this image that there's no such thing as free speech in Speaker's Corner. Now, he claimed that the park is full of Muslim jihadi terrorists. Islamic jihadi terrorists in the park. And you fell for it. And he created this strong man that you can't speak there. Only because Martin Selner couldn't come to this country and do his speech in the park was the reason why he claimed there was no free speech. Now, I don't know why Martin Selner wasn't permitted into this country. None of my business, to be honest with you. If our government of Britain decide that a man cannot come to this country, then speak to the government of this country. It's nothing to do with us Muslims. But Tommy, for some reason, you got in your heads that the Muslims are stopping free speech in the park. Now, I'm going to give you one prime example how we're not stopping free speech in the park is our mate Tan. Now, I know you guys have seen Tan. I've seen all your comments on the Tan video. You love this guy. Why do you love this guy? You say he has balls of steel. Why do you say he has balls of steel? Because he's in that park every Sunday saying the most obscene things about Islam and Muslims. Now, here's the thing you've got to understand. If it truly was a place of no free speech, then he wouldn't be speaking. He'd be shut down, especially the Islamic Jihadi terrorists there. They would have shut him down long ago. So this is evidence in itself. So don't you question this. Tommy says Islamic Jihadi's there. Tommy says there's no free speech there. And yet Tan is there every week abusing, mocking Islam, and nobody's shutting him down. To be honest, we just ignore him. He's a little bit mental, I truly believe. But no one's shutting him down. You go to Speaker's Corner, you can say what you like. And I will say this to my brothers and sisters in Islam as well. If you do go down to Speaker's Corner, you are going to hear things about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ you're not going to like. You are going to hear things about Islam you're not going to like. But don't react emotionally to it. It's free speech. And we allow them to say their nonsense and we refute their nonsense. And we do it on camera so people realise it is nonsense. That's how speech works. Yeah? Alhamdulillah. Now, Tommy, you said you went down there to free speech. All your supporters are seen with placards, free speech. Now, the irony is this. It was your followers that attacked a veteran speaker of the park. A non-Muslim veteran speaker of the park who was on his ladder. And I think he was pointing in your direction and saying things about you. And he had his hat pulled off and he was jostled and he was mocked and he was pushed off his ladder. Where was the free speech? I didn't see you condemning his right, condemning the people who were stopping his free speech. I didn't see you defending his right to free speech. In fact, I seen you pointing and laughing at it. So this makes me question, are you an honest man? I don't think you are. Because if you cared about free speech, you would have said, whoa, leave him alone. But you didn't, did you? Second thing you said, your followers were impeccably behaved and it was the religion of peace that caused the trouble. Sorry, mate, we've got it on camera. 3 times, one of the same guy from your people started 3 individual fights. And yet you claim your people behaved impeccably? Tommy, you've been exposed as lying again. And I don't see, and you know this happened, and I don't see any condemnation of this. So, you know, this tells me that you're a liar, mate. Seriously. I know you may not be watching this, but I hope your followers share it. I know there's trolls on the page. I hope they share it with you. Okay. And you say you defend people's right to free speech. I challenge you, mate. Because I don't think you understand what free speech is about, to be honest with you. Because, for example, if somebody on Armistice Sunday at the cenotaph, during the minute silence, started abusing and mocking the dead soldiers, are you telling me you will defend that person's right? I know you wouldn't, mate. Why wouldn't you? Because you would see it as disrespectful. Now, if you're saying you would defend their right to it, I'd love to hear this on camera, man. I want to hear you say that. You would defend someone's right to abuse dead soldiers during the minute silence. And if you do say you would defend their right to do that during the minute silence, I would condemn it. But I want to hear you. If you say you would support their right to do that, that I'd love to hear. Then that would show me, you know what, you are genuine. You do believe in free speech. But now I've got to implore you, Tommy, please. You need to stop lying. And you need to stop the scaremongering. Because you're going to create another Darren Osborne. You're going to create some poor young sap or old sap who gets convinced and hooked on your lies and thinks that he's got to do something about this radicalisation and thinks he can solve the problem and he's going to take matters into his own hand, as you keep saying, the British people will rise up and he's going to try and prove a point and he's going to hurt Muslims because of you, Tommy. We've had it with Darren Osborne. We know he was on your sites. Yeah, deny it all you like. We know he was. And please, please, I beg of you, stop the lying and the scaremongering to the good old honest British public. Yeah, because you're scaring them needlessly. And you're doing the work of ISIS for them. You're terrorizing the people doing the job they want to be done. Because the people are not terrorized, except when nonsense like you, people like you spout your nonsense. So anyway, here's how I see it, Tommy. I don't know why I keep addressing you as Tommy, to be honest with you. Anyway, here's how I see it. You inspire thousands to fear and hate Muslims and Islam. You even maybe encourage some Muslims to leave Islam. I don't know. Maybe they fall for your lies. I don't know. Your pseudo-Islamic scholarship, the book you wrote. And they leave Islam. Okay. Now me, I inspire thousands to love Islam. To not fear Muslims. I inspire even non-Muslims, Englishmen, to embrace Islam. So here's the thing. I engage people who challenge what I say. If I'll say something, we go to the park and we'll have an engagement, we'll have a discourse, we'll challenge the misconceptions that are put against us. But you don't, Tommy. You create such a ruckus, you're going somewhere so there's a crowd around you so no one can engage you. Why? You know why? Because you know if you're engaged, you'll be exposed, mate. You made such a hoo-ha about EFDawah. Because you know why? Because he exposed you. Because he was asking you a simple question and you were shotgun tacticing him. You was asking about this, that, the other, as if you were authorities on them. You can be refuted on every point, Tommy. Ali didn't have the ammunition to do it with you that day. I'd destroy you on that, mate. That tactic don't work with me. So anyway, here's the situation I see it. You're inspiring people. I'm inspiring people. What we're inspiring cannot be reconciled. Therefore, one of us is lying. One of us is deceived. I invite you, Tommy. Let's get together. Let's determine who is the one who is deceived. Because we're both English lads. We both grew up on the streets. So let's see who knows what. Let's see who's correct. Let's see who's been misguided. Then we can establish what the truth is rather than what the lies are that are out there. And because one of us is wrong, mate. Okay, that's it. Rant over. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once more to all my brothers and sisters in Islam, and peace be upon all my brothers and sisters in humanity. Assalamu alaikum.